Okay, this is a great day for me. I'm opening the doors of my house, of my temple. This is the Art House Studios. I built this studio 7 years ago, full of dreams. And I honestly never thought that everything that has happened here in this space could be true. It's just a matter of how fine-tuning your dreams can really make them real. So I'm super excited to share with you this space, to open the doors of my house, and especially to share this moment with people that I met since the beginning of this journey. And we did it out of passion, right? It's been a collective dream, and especially based on something that I think is essential, and it's been what is moving me to do this in my career now, which is education. I've been passionate about education, musical education, and I always felt that there's always a big gap between reality and academy. And I went to the traditional academy, and it was a great experience. I learned a lot, but after being more than 30 years as a professional in the industry, I think I can select what is really useful, and in order to create this, this bridge with reality. So and part of that is, I think the best way to learn is by doing, and the best way to learn is by being in the environment where you are already experience your relationship with the real life scenario, and not waiting until you finish all your career in order to start learning. So that's the basic principle of what we are doing here. I would love to introduce here my friend Robin Breumers. He is a great, amazing person, first of all, professional. He's an amazing engineer from Belgium, and he's coming from Abbey Road, Amsterdam. Mm-hmm. He was the director of the program, and now he's here with us in Miami. I think you like Miami.
I like it.
Here's Maria Elisa Ayerbe. She's very special for me because she started here with me 7 years ago as an intern, and with a lot of dreams. And
yes.
Now she's an amazing, accomplished engineer, Grammy winner, and a very special face for the women in in the industry. She's a pioneer, and I'm really proud of everything she has accomplished so far. My dear friend Nicolas Ramirez from Colombia, an amazing engineer, graduated from SCAD in music for film, and he's an amazing engineer. And also, you've been in this journey for the last 3 years, and he's already a Grammy winner too. So this laboratory that I'm talking about is real. I'm not saying here and creating false expectations that everybody that comes here is gonna get Grammys or is gonna get an amazing career, but it's happened naturally. And I don't know, it naturally happened that suddenly we start seeing here artists, amazing artists coming to record, not only to record his music here, but also to really enjoy this place, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so many names.
Mark Anthony, he loves coming here. He feels this is his second home, right?
Absolutely.
No, Jennifer Lopez is also like, it's unreal, kind of like the feeling of like feeling the vibe of the studio that is super close, and like, it doesn't feel like a studio, but it's a very professional studio at the same time. So it's like, it's homey. It's, I don't know, you feel like the love of the family. They, like, yeah, like the house.
And there's almost a supernatural side of education, which is just to be in the same space. Sharing the same space with an artist is something that you don't learn in the traditional school. I mean, you have to be in the real scenario. And that's what I want to share. I'm really passionate about that, about sharing this experience of involving new talent and people with dreams to learn exactly what they need to learn. So this is the plan here, basically. Mm-hmm. Robin, do you want to add?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you summed it up well. We've actually prepared a video with Julio kind of explaining his vision behind music and how he sees the school and education. So next up we're going to play you this video, and then after the video we'll be back.
My question is always, how can my music create a parallel universe where people enjoy reality free of reason, as if they were an audience watching their own movie? Music inoculates imagination in the everyday. People get married to music, celebrate with music, say goodbye with music. It's a way to free ourselves of the conflicts and limitations of our own mind, to unconsciously explain the things about existence that reason simply cannot. It expands our universe, allowing us to understand reality through sensation and feeling rather than logic. To be able to create, we must start by speaking the musical language. And to learn it, we should learn it like we did our native one, by listening. We first listening and then imitated. That's how we learn to speak and eventually to connect words with the specific emotions. I believe the musical language should be learned the same way. First, we use our ears and try to imitate what we like. We attempt to figure out notes of a melody we find appealing and the sound of the chord, or play them in an instrument. An intuitive process of trial and error. Of all my years learning in the traditional music educational system, what I value most is ear training. It helped me to hone my ear's capacity to quickly discern what I was hearing. It has been the essential tool in my process. I feel we have to train our ears so they can feed on the unlimited number of melodies, rhythms, timbres, textures, and sounds. This makes our creative process deeper and better suited to evolve. My first contact with music was classical music. I discovered I wanted to be a musician when I was 7, becoming obsessed with Bach's toccata and fugue in D minor. I heard and tried to play it using the out-of-tune piano that I used to have in my house. After that, it was Pink Floyd, Peter Gabriel, and Supertramp. Every time I was able to play a song I liked, I felt I could come out with something new. I would sit down to improvise for hours with all the chords and melodies that I had stored in my musical memory. The process seemed less hard each time because my ear was more and more used to recognizing patterns and structures. Structures that when I went to the conservatory were simply assign a name in a textbook. Since my initial discovery, I haven't stopped listening to music, doing research on it, and trying to discern the qualities that make something move me. I do it every day. That is the kind of education that I want to share with the new generation of musicians. An education based on euphony. What sounds good. Because after more than 40 years of music in my ears and hands, after unlocking access to priceless resources, after learning new dialects in the language of music, after all that, my motivation is still the same. What music can I make today to help me and others dream? Okay. This is very, very, very special for me, as I mentioned before, and something that I really think is one of the most powerful sides of music is, I mean, when you see a person that is doing a hard job, for example, you know, the hard worker that is working under their sun, probably he's naturally singing or whistling a melody. That's something that is very solid to show that music definitely creates a parallel universe where, you know, we feel lighter, the reality, the tough side of reality is lighter with music. And I deeply believe that should be the motivation behind every creative process, is what is the music that we are gonna create in order to make reality lighter, a different experience, right?
Right, and especially through these difficult times that we have been nowadays, music has become sort of like escape from reality. Now we're locked in our houses, in our homes, and we are away from the people that we work with, that we study with, sometimes away from our families, but we have something in common, and that is music, and it's that companion that will never abandon us, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna switch here. So I also wanted to, I think it's important to talk a bit about the mission, like our goal of what we're trying to achieve with the school. One of the most important things that you were very clear with from the beginning is you wanted this to be boutique. You wanted to, you know, have people that are well, hand selected, as in people who show talent, show passion, and that, taking that, giving a really strong theoretical background with a practical approach to education. I think that's something that's very key to what we're trying to do, right?
Absolutely, very relevant fact that we need to do the education boutique, so we can have, you know, a more specialized relationship with
It's a one-on-one thing.
One-on-one thing. It's nothing like that, because every person is a different world. And I don't know if you remember when you guys were students. I remember very well that I could just be, you know,
One of the bunch.
one of the bunch.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, when I was a professor, some of my students remember me as a little bit tough, because I didn't want anybody just to, you know,
That's true.
to be one of the bunch, and I wanted to expose them, but in a very honest way. I would do it now with more love. I mean, so.
Great. And then let's talk a bit about the two programs that we have. Mm-hmm. So there are actually two different programs, and that's why you see, you know, the names Art House Academy and Abbey Road Institute Miami. And maybe you can talk a bit about the synergy of like why that was important for you to have both, and how they're gonna work together and be beneficial to each other.
Absolutely. And there's one thing that I really, really want to mention, and it's I love the Abbey Road brand and what it represents. It's been associated with the most credible, you know, with credibility, and that's something that I'm always fan of. And so this program from Abbey Road, it's been for the last 10 years or more. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. in Europe and in Great Britain, in London. So, and I loved it, but when we start talking, I always felt that we needed to have this full circle, mm-hmm. where the students in the engineer and production and songwriting program could actually work together in a real project. So that's why we created the artist program, which is designed for talented artists that are gonna be, you know, working in this synergetic relationship, and at the end of the program, they're gonna have a real product to show that's been, you know, supervised for me and for all the the talented people that we have here teaching, and that's very concrete. I think that's the purpose of this synergy,
Yeah.
to have this full circle and to provide that feedback that is going to create a product that could be actually, successful.
Yeah, and it's created in-house, and it would be a coalition between everyone, both like the students from the audio production side of it, as well as the art house, right, artists.
Exactly.
And then it's going to be a real life experience, which is what you want to base it on. It's going to be like actually coming out with a product that will go out to the world.
Exactly.
It's like mimicking what happens really at the studio too. Like a songwriter comes with a producer, with an artist, and then after, I don't know, a few hours, if you can say a few hours or maybe a week, there's a beautiful song out there that is like changing lives, So it's
Exactly.
it's like
And 3 or 4 weeks ahead, there it's in the radio, it's in radio, it's on the platforms, and some of them receiving Grammys and
Exactly.
which is it's supernatural. It's hard to believe. But definitely, yeah, that's an aspect. And also another very important aspect is too that we are working here. We're going to keep this as a studio that is available for great artists. I'm blessed to be a relevant producer, and this is going to still happen here. So we are going to learn how to deal with the reality of the studio. How are you going to manage your relationship with the artist, which is one of the most challenging parts, right?
The most challenging part.
We are dealing with very hypersensitive people, and we need to learn how to maximize and get the best out of them without creating any type of intimidation.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it doesn't matter how many years it takes you to prepare, but you have to be ready in that moment to unlearn everything and just be functional for the artist and for the whatever artistic creation is happening in the moment. You're not dealing with compression, with scales. You're not dealing with anything. That just has to flow in that moment. You're just a human being sitting with the artist, letting the artistry just flow through you.
Absolutely.
Great. Next up, let's talk maybe a bit about the studio itself, where we are, this beautiful facility. Actually, this room is also newly decorated, and you guys are the first ones to see it in its new form. So, Nico, do you want to talk a bit about the facility?
Yeah, of course. So I can talk about the facility, about in my personal experience that I was a student at SCAD in Savannah, Georgia, and I came here, beautiful Miami, and I came to this studio again. It felt like home, like this place where you can just run into beautiful people, like nice people, like all the artists and everything that is unreal for me, or it wasn't real and it's still unreal for me just to run into, my Cantonese Jennifer Lopez, Alejandro Sanz, then Camilo is in the other room, so it's like, at the end you go to your house, is what just happened, So it's like learning in this studio with like this real experience that Julio has told. So it's full of the best equipment available, and I don't know, it's like it has all the tools you need just to be creative. Even just like the space is like beautiful to just like not feel that you are in this cold room, like like trapped in this studio and everyone is watching you. It's just like feel like you're home, like in your living room,
Yeah, absolutely. We've actually prepared also a cool video so you guys can actually see through the studio, the facility, and watch all the rooms. So next up I'm going to play that, and then we'll be back again.
Hey guys, Welcome to Art House Academy and Abbey Road Institute, Miami. This is the place for you to be greeted every morning and every afternoon, and we want this to be a place of inspiration. Looking forward to see you here.
Oh, hello. Welcome to Studio B. This is our new studio. We have this beautiful Stanway, a Wurlitzer, the famous Wurlitzer, Gibson guitars, beautiful stuff, and acoustics. This is a beautiful room. And this is the control room. SSL Origin, brand new one too. We are ready to roll and to enjoy this with you guys.
Hi again. This right here is currently our office area, but it's gonna become the classroom, which is gonna have all of the computers here, all of the workstations. It's gonna be great.
Welcome to the piano room. Believe it or not, a lot of amazing songs were born in this room. You're gonna love it. It has the shape of a piano, and you can fit a small orchestra. Super amazing, has connection to the patio. Really nice space. You guys are gonna love it here.
Hi, and welcome to our kitchen. This is where you can have lunch and coffee and just relax.
Hey, welcome to Studio A. This is where everything was born. This was the first studio here, and it's been the house of a lot of songs and a lot of artists, great artists from all over the world. Really love coming here. So I'm blessed. We're blessed to have created this beautiful environment where you can be free and the artist feels great. Okay, one very important aspect that we haven't mentioned here is that we are in Miami, and it's great. I mean, we haven't talked about how great Miami.
Yeah,
That's
true.
it. It is great. It is great.
Because of the beach and
Weather.
and the discos.
Maybe Roy can tell us something about how good is Miami.
For dancing, yeah. No, seriously, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. Especially, I would say from October to May, it's just perfect.
The weather is perfect.
Weather is perfect. Now we're in summer. It's a little bit, I mean,
It's hot,
It's
but-
hot, humid, but not inside here.
No, I'm wearing a jacket. But no, Not only that, and also Miami is the South American and Latin American hub for music.
Yeah.
And then this is an area where so many products are being created and produced, and by just being in Miami, you get a sense of, seriously, not only what being here you get to produce, but then outside it's just the amount of connections that you can make just by being here and getting to know people around the industry.
That's a great point, Maria. Great point, because it's true. I mean, everybody is coming here, and the melting pot is every day way more interesting.
Yeah.
And we're bringing we are we have the best of the two worlds.
Yeah.
So let's keep going, so we don't get too boring.
Yeah. Let's talk about the program.
Mm-hmm.
Well, both programs. So let's start off with the music production and sound engineering program, which is designed for songwriters, producers, and engineers. So really a broad spectrum. Like, you can expect anything from somebody who wants to like compose to like, you know, pop production, songwriting, to more production, to more engineering. It's really like a broad field. And as Julio mentioned before, the link with Abbey Road Institute, which, you know, is a studio that was one of the first studios there is, that has over 80 years of existence, and the program actually was originated there with the help of the engineers and the producers working in the studio. And we're very proud to, you know, be a part of that, and you know, have that heritage as part of the program. If in case you don't know, Abbey Road Institute, they have facilities all over the world, from, you know, London to Europe to Australia. So it's
beautiful part that you can graduate
in London. In Abbey Road Studios.
In Abbey Road Studios.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is also a really cool thing. The graduation parties are legendary. It's really, really amazing. Being inside Studio 2, where the Beatles recorded, also being in Studio 1, where there's a lot of the orchestral recordings. It's really fun. Then, like a bit more of what to expect within the program. It's actually a full-time 12-month program, and it's very intense. So expect to really get put to work. And there is about 4 times, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, classes in the morning. Then there's also ear training. You get exercises, mixes you have to do, songs you have to write, and as well the studio time that you have here in the facilities. So there's a lot to be done in the week. Every student also has their own workstation, so everything can be done within the facility, everything that you need to do. Maybe Maria, you want to add a little bit about like your view of the program, and, you know, what you think people can expect from
So basically, I think this is a really cool program from when you just want to be part of the music production and the music creation aspect. So it involves the whole production, the management, the engineering, the songwriting. Mm-hmm. So you're going to become not only even if your expectations lean more towards audio engineering, or maybe you want to become a producer and maybe your thing is writing songs, but you're going to dive into all the different aspects. So in the end, after a year, you're going to come up a much better creator with the knowledge of all the different general and broader aspects that encompass the music production. Mm-hmm. And basically, if maybe you were leaning towards something, you can discover here that you were maybe really good at something else, and you can push forward there. But the thing is that you're going to get in-depth, real experiences.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool.
Absolutely. And and I think also Julio being there to supervise, I always feel like Julio, he always sees in you what you maybe don't know yet. So I think as like having you as a mentor throughout that program is also like, you know, extremely valuable, and you know, it's
yes, and the fact that you're going to be interacting also with people that will be in that same mind flow will eventually let's say grow your own capacity and make you a much better individual in the end, which is what we want. We don't want you to be just a part of a herd of students,
Exactly.
but just individuals that have their own capacities and know who they are and what they're really good for.
And maybe,
Yes.
sorry, maybe what you were saying the other day here at the studio, that the boutique thing is not only just meant for us as Abbey Road and Art House Academy, but also for the students, or I mean for the people that are gonna study, because if you are surrounded by very talented people, you're gonna be pushed like yourself, just in a very like beautiful, competitive,
In a healthy environment. Yeah,
Yes.
I guess that's
So to grow everything and to put it like in a next level experience.
exactly.
What I also think is really cool is because it's very boutique, so it's a small number of students, but also the fact that you're going to see that everybody has their own specialty. You know, you have maybe like more piano players, you have guitar players, maybe somebody more in the hip hop scene, but that melting pot of people helping each other, and like you can learn from so many different areas, from different genres, different instruments. It creates this kind of really
Absolutely.
And then you can also all of a sudden, because you're learning about all the different topics, there may be one moment in the program where like you need to switch hats and do something else. You'd have the knowledge for that too.
Yeah. And then the last thing I want to say about the program that I think is really cool is that the really progression, it takes you from, really early on of like training your ears of, how to identify certain techniques, to really learning how to, listen and create, to then all the way going into, the specific elements of like, synthesis, to like mastering, to, sound for film. Like it really creates like this beautiful, like you learn more and more, and it's like a nice funnel.
Then you end up like also learning about management and how to build your career, like not only, I mean, as a business, and not only just like in a practical way.
Yeah, absolutely
Awesome.
Yeah. And then we have the second program, which is the Diploma in Music Performance, the Art House Academy program. That's a program that you fully designed, that's like fully yours, that, I guess it's been in your head for a while.
Many years, yeah.
And maybe you want to talk a bit about it.
Yeah, I think the most important aspect of this program is that I'm really passionate about finding what makes unique an artist. How are we going to find his or her own voice? And I'm passionate about finding expressive resources and open the scope, every artist, has the influence of a particular artist. And that's why sometimes you hear, you make a natural comparison, you say, oh, she sounds, or he sounds like that art. That is something that I think we really need to avoid, because, you can identify some influences, because no one is gonna, be, this is a very collaborative, historical industry. We are not inventing anything. Everything has been invented. We're just organizing everything in a different way. But I think that's the most important aspect. Where are we gonna get expressive resources from in order to make you unique? Because that's I would say nowadays, with all the resources that everybody has at home, you can upload your video singing, and there's a lot of people saying, I'm here and I want to be unique. But that's not that easy. And when you have millions of people saying, I want to do it, we really need to create, and you have to go into this laboratory of finding what makes you unique. And I'm fully passionate about that. And this is basically what this program is about. Everything is about that. And I am very, very, I want to be very involved in the development of every artist that is coming here.
Great, thank you. Maybe also to talk about the final project, which I think is really cool. People actually leave with a fully produced EP, which is in collaboration with the Abbey Road Institute students, and also with a business plan and a live performance. So it's really like nurturing an artist from when they come in.
At the end of this process, at the end of this very passionate and intensive laboratory, we want to have something real, not only memories. We need something that you're gonna play, that you're gonna show, and I don't expect anything less than wow, where were you? Where are you from? That's my real passion.
Yeah, nice. I think for the programs,
You are fine,
great. So then one last thing before we go to something exciting. In terms of enrollment procedure, in case you're interested in applying for the program, might be interesting. The next start date is going to be January 4th, 2021. That's going to be the next start date. The key thing is before, check the entry requirements, prepare a portfolio, motivation letter, and a CV. That's what we ask of people. A lot of people actually ask, like, what are you looking for in a student? That's definitely going to be a question. Like, would you mind elaborating, what is your perfect starting student for you, or one of them, because I'm sure there's different profiles?
Absolutely. I'm not expecting persons with formal education. We just need talent and passion. That's a combination. That's a profile, and people that they really want to take this seriously. Why? Because we all know, as you were saying before, and nowadays we are confirming that music really is essential. It's not ornamental. It's necessary for the survival of the human species. So with that in mind, that's the people that we want to have here. Is exactly this, with the same mindset of a person that want to become a doctor. They are saving lives. We are saving spirits. We are saving lives too.
Yeah.
And that's why we need this passion and this training.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's great. Shall we move on to the next? So next up, we have prepared a really cool video, which is the deconstruction of one of Julio's productions that he did with Brika. The song is called Blinded. It's a really beautiful song. And we thought it was interesting for you to have a look at, the section, the multi-track, and how it came about, how the song started to, the end result.
And actually, Brika was one of the successful experiments that I was doing here with new talent. She's an amazing artist, and she's getting a lot of attention every day, and with a lot of great plans. And it was born here in this environment.
Great. We're here today with Julio, and what we're going to do today is have a look at one of his sessions that he produced. And the idea for today is to kind of have a look at how Julio produced it and how the song came about. It's something I really think is fascinating to see kind of into the mind of what goes on in your head when you produce a song. So let's have a quick listen to the first part, and then we dive into it.
I was in my room. I was in my room, watching all the vibrant variations of us two. I was in my room while you linger like perfume, just lost in every conversation side we still pursue. And I warned you to be real careful, Just want you to be more sly. Want you to be less hurtful. 'Cause I know where my thoughts go wrong.
Very, very nice. So can you talk a bit more about the process of how the song came about, and like, did Rika approach you, or did you write this together?
Yeah, we wrote it together. Actually, I was improvising with minimalistic textures on the piano, like more from the classical contemporary scenario, like John Cage. She's great creating melodies, so she started improvising melodies over the design that I was playing. That was the whole beginning of the song.
Blinded, I'm blinded, I'm blinded, blinded, I'm blinded, 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 I'm blinded, I'm blinded, I'm blinded, 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 I'm blinded, blinded, I'm blinded, I'm blinded.
So, I mean, you already talked a bit about the minimalistic approach of the song, and like I've seen productions from you where you could have like 130 tracks. These ones, for example, are very minimal, not too many elements. The focus is on the vocal, I guess.
Absolutely, especially with Rika, because she has a lot of nuances in her vocals that, though I think those are really the most amazing expressive resources she has. I don't want the vocal to be just one more layer in the texture. I mean, for me, the vocal that's what I'm working for. I'm creating everything, the whole package around the vocals. So the audience can have this one-on-one experience with very subtle noises that are ended up being super expressive, and they connect with you, you know.
And then specifically to the banjo, did you hired the musician? Did you tell him, I want the banjo and I want you to play this, or does it come more like, let's try with different guitar, or like how does it?
Yeah, more and more, Robin. I think my approach to music is way more successful when I'm absolutely emotional and when I don't think too much, when I just let it happen. Actually, one of the best exercises I can recommend to everybody else is almost like when you are creating something new, imagine that you're trying to remember it. It's like if it already exists, you know what I mean?
And soon we resumed. The coffee got me fumed. Words soon became actions, and habits were born. When I took.
And then when you work on the song, how do you figure out the moment when you're like, I have it, like this is it, like is there always like that click moment where you feel like, this is what I wanted?
Yeah, I think we all have like a window of objectivity that it doesn't last too much, because our worst enemy is how easy we can lose perspective. You get used to mistakes, you get used to in every level, no?
Yeah.
So that window of opportunity for you to be objective, you really need to be very aware of that. As I told you, I know myself, and I have no more than 30 minutes where I can see, okay, this is done, or what do I have to do?
Yeah, very nice. And then when we look at the structure of the song, we can see that there's a lot of vocals with the vocoder, and then you have a lot of melodic instruments such as the banjo, with piano, like a bit more distorted, more clean. We have the organ, we have the saxophone. In this case, it's a song that starts off like very minimal with the piano, and then the vocal comes in, and it builds towards the end. What is your approach of like, what should the song be? Should it be like starting minimal, go big?
Yeah, it's just this, I mean, great possibility that we have nowadays to see the music, because when you have the possibility to see, you can actually have like a more architectonic approach to the music. So it's like opening a window to a different world, you know. That's what I was doing there. Actually, it's like, if I'm an architect and I'm in, in one part of the house, and I think I can open a window here to this garden, you know. I love that possibility in music production nowadays.
Is that something you do alone, or is that something also you do with the songwriter? How?
Yes, definitely. I mean, that was a teamwork with Brika, and I respect a lot her narrative, because she's a good storyteller. So I'm going with her.
What I'll also do is I'll actually solo some of the elements. We kind of have an idea.
Words became actions, and habits were born. When I told you to be.
A lot of layers to figure out. It's quite, I mean, if you think about it, like all the different parts and elements that all make up the song, it's really nice to see. And I think also for you, for the audience, I think it's a really nice look into like a session of a really good song and how it was produced. So I would definitely recommend to check it out also on Spotify or any of your streaming platforms. And yeah, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Romy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have a very, very nice surprise here, and I really wanted to share now that we are reaching the end of this virtual tour. I would love to introduce Natalia Schlesinger and Ella Taubert, and why they are here. They are actually part of this laboratory, right? Mm-hmm. Everything we've been talking about. I want to share what is the result of 2 or 3 months of with you. Of Natalia is an aspiring producer, engineer, and songwriter, and Ella is an amazing singer that I had the fortune to meet, like
since I was like 12.
12, at least for so, and that's exactly what I. This is a sample of what I expect to produce here. Which is, they've been here gravitating in the environment of our house, and they're starting creating an idea, a song, and I was constantly giving them feedback about during the process, and I heard something that was really, really good. Of course, we had a lot of chats of what we're looking for Ella, and finding this unique voice, a little bit of what I was talking about before, and it happened. They showed me an idea, and it was great already, and I was just giving them feedback. Then I suggest different melody for the hook of the song, and a bridge, a section that was creating, giving oxygen to the piece. and we're gonna share it with you. But before that, I would love for you, Natalia, to tell a little bit of how it's been this experience being here for 3 months now, right?
Yes, more or less. I think that everything that they were talking about earlier on this video is very accurate, actually, because Art House has been for me a place where I found a beautiful energy, a beautiful creative energy, where you can just come here with all your knowledge or everything that you've been studying and all these things that everybody has told you that music is, maybe. And this is a space when you can be totally free of everything and totally creative and just try to find something that goes way beyond those things that you've learned, I think so. So the experience has been great. Being with Ella has been amazing. Also getting to know her, what she wants for her project and everything, and it's been very nice to start creating and looking for, as you say, Julio, it's like a laboratory. It's just try until you find something that really matches and like makes a click that you say that's the way, and it's great. I think it's been very nice, and I've learned a lot in the 2 or 3 months that I've been here.
That's amazing. And with Ella, we had the experience. I mean, I have the privilege of, know you for 10 years, a long time, 8 years, yeah. So, but I did that. I asked Ella to, because she already had like a beautiful voice, but we started this search, and I asked her to listen to, I mean, different genres. I have this list of music from everywhere, right? I asked you to listen to flamenco music, to follow African music.
Like for 6 months, like for like 5 years, and then I like took everything that you like told me to keep for me, to have that uniqueness in the voice that we've been searching for.
It's great. I think is how you absorb from every, all those places nobody's looking. But so just to let's music talk, we're gonna share with you the song that we wrote together, and also very important, during the process of composition of this song, we sent the melodies to an amazing songwriter that lives in Miami, and she's going to be involved in this program. Her name is Mariana Vega, and she wrote the lyrics for this song. I hope you guys like it.
Tienes los miedos de pie, siguiéndote, lo sé. Quieres mantenerte así, congelado, inmóvil frente a mí, huyendo de ti. Te contaré algo que sin querer yo descubrí también. Tu luz, tu voz, con el tiempo vuelven a brillar. Eco, razón que se ha roto, ama de verdad. Si te pudiera mostrar en una esfera Al final seré quien eres, jamás será un error a tu luz. Tu voz con el tiempo vuelven a brillar. Eco, razón que se ha roto, ama de verdad. Somos los que estamos rotos, los que amamos más. Tu luz, tu voz, con el tiempo vuelven a brillar. Eco, razón que se ha roto, ama de verdad. Y aquí estoy yo, por si quieres volver a empezar.
Okay, so
That was like the first recording, like
yeah,
in the studio.
in the studio, real time.
Yeah.
We had it was great, a great experience.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know if there's any questions. We'll be happy. We'll be glad to
We're now open.
answer some of them.
Absolutely. Let's see if we have
Let's
any.
see, we have any. If not, it's been a great time.
Let's see. Qué lindo.
Lindo Robin.
Let me see. Oh. ¿Cuántas personas admiten al año?
Okay, how many people you want to answer the questions?
Yeah, sure. So the goal is for us to, as Julio said, to be very like boutique. So our goal is to have 5 artists starting in January, together with 10 production students, and they will be working together. So it's 15 students in the school.
I'm going to say in Spanish, just in case. Vamos a tener la oportunidad de abrir cupos para 5 artistas en el programa de formación artística y 10 en el programa de producción, ingeniería y songwriting al año.
And then the next question is everything in Spanish. ¿Cuándo empieza el apply process?
Ya. We are available. I mean, this
It's like you can register now or apply now. Actually, sorry. Prepare your CV, your motivation letter, portfolio. We typically ask about 4 to 5 songs that you feel really represent you, with a description of what you did in the song. The production, the songwriting, the engineering. And then the motivation letter is also very important. As Julio mentioned, we're really looking for people who are passionate, really serious about this craft and about what we all love, which is music. So we want to see that come through, and that's. And then what are the starting dates considering the situation? That's also January 4th is going to be our start date.
2021.
Yeah, 2021. So that's.
Forget 2020.
Let it go. I go to university currently and was wondering if there's any way to do both. personally, I think it's very hard to combine two the programs. I mean, as we mentioned, this is very intense. It's it's a very intense program. You're going to be at least occupied 40, 50 hours. And I think if you do this, I would really recommend to focus like everything you have, because, those hours are suggestions. If you want to spend 80 hours, great, like take that year and give it your all. And I think if you have to combine it with too many things, I think it's going to be less beneficial for you, because you want to get the most out of the program as well. So it's wouldn't recommend it. The program and class is going to be in English, Spanish, or Spanglish.
That's the good thing about Miami.
Yes.
Whatever you need.
Miami.
Actually, it's so personal. They also that boutique quality, it makes possible to have that approach.
It's like sports in a way, music.
Exactly.
Like the universal language is music, and then whatever other language you communicate through, obviously you're going to have to sort it out.
That's a great point. Yes. A great way to point it out. Yes.
You also have one-to-one mentoring sessions. Well, it kind of goes with the same. Like that's part of the program. Mm-hmm. It's like the performance program. So for the artist, has a lot more individual time, because you're obviously developing, your skill set as an artist. Whereas, in the production, you maybe have more classical time, which is still with only 10 people, so you're still focused together. But overall, it's going to be a lot of personal time. I mean, if you're with so many people together in a space for a whole year, you're gonna know each other, and you become part of the familia. What's the age group you are admitting? Anything. Minimum is 18.
18.
So you have to be 18, but maximum. I think you were already saying.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to. Don't think that because we are an educational institute, we're expecting students, because this is not about us tailoring you into a frame of what a student should be. It's more about you coming here because you want to develop yourself. The age is just something irrelevant. Mm-hmm. You have to be plus 18 years old, but
that's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And tienen un mínimo y máximo de edad.
Same.
Ok.
Pregunta, entonces podemos responderla en español, Mariela.
Como estábamos mencionando, así, switch. Básicamente la idea, no tenemos un mínimo de edad. Un mínimo de edad, perdón, sí, 18, pero un máximo no, porque la idea es no encasillar el concepto de estudiante. Aquí lo que estamos es tratando de formar individuos. Entonces, la edad es irrelevante en ese sentido. Lo importante es venir preparado.
Absolutamente. Muy bien.
Then one question, is it open to international students? That's a bit of a tricky question, because officially as a school we are not able to provide student visas at this moment. However, depending on your personal situation, maybe there are different ways. As an artist, you have artist visas. So we always like to look at your personal situation and see, where we can help, and maybe there is a visa that fits you. And, so as a school, we don't provide or sponsor student visas, but we want to look.
For now, yet.
Exactly.
For the first year, that's just a part of the law here in
Déjenos
Florida.
saber si necesitan que estas respuestas también las demos en español, porque por ejemplo el tema de la visa es muy importante aclararlo, ¿cierto?
Sí.
Básicamente lo que Robin estaba diciendo para las personas que necesitan la traducción es que en el momento, el primer año, la escuela no va a poder hacer un sponsoring oficial de visas de estudiantes, pero por ley, exactamente, pero aún así cada caso es específico, y hay muchas personas que, por ejemplo, ya tienen una visa de estudiante o son residentes sin necesariamente ser nacionales, estar nacionalizados americanos. Entonces cada caso es muy específico. Más adelante sí se ofrecerá la oportunidad.
Exactamente.
Yeah, awesome. I think that's it so far. Let's see if there's any more questions. If not, then we can wrap it up. But thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. So
See you
will see you soon.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye.
Good evening.
Bye.
Bye.